straight males at Reddit, what's the gayest thing you've ever done? I let my friend kiss me. He came from a really religious household and was finally realizing that he was gay. He asked if he could kiss me to see if it felt different than kissing a girl. He is my friend and I had kissed people in theater, so I kind of figured, hey, why not? After the kiss, which included more tongue than I expected, which was any, he pulled back and said, thanks. And then immediately, or FCK, I'm definitely gay. Edit, you guys are all too kind. How is this post still getting awards? Edit again, 1,000 upvotes. I had a dude suck whipped cream off the tip of my penis. Yeah, that's pretty gay. I got a boner while reading some of these comments. Was a medic in the army. First day at my unit. A guy walked in, whipped his dick out, and asked if it looked infected to me. We've been best friends ever since and my son's named after him. Used to be a game where you'd put your hand on another guy's knee and slowly move it toward their groin until one of you chickened out. I never lost. I have a friend who is bisexual. Sometimes he jokes about eating my ass and sometimes I joke about it as well. At times I think he really does want to eat my ass. As a gay man, I'm just gonna say, some of you straight men are just fascinating creatures. I like how some people are like I came in a guy's ass and others are like I held my best friend's hand once and we've never spoken about it since. Hey man. I haven't seen you jerk off lately. You okay? The Navy. British military, mid-90s. Imagine 5 drunk hairy-assed sailors dressed as Spice Girls with huge balloon boobs. Pub crawling around a quaint little English village. No underwear under the mini skirts and offering a free look at the goods for anyone stupid enough to look at them. TLDR. Sailors. Beer. When I was in grade 8 I had this weird crush on a dude. Totally threw me in for a loop cause I was pretty sure I was into girls. And then it faded after like 2 weeks and then never happened again. Must have been hormones at the beginning of puberty. But I think about it a lot. 2-week gay period. Definitely have kissed a couple dudes at the bar though. These things happen. I had sex with a guy. Turns out I'm only into an L when it's with a chick. I kissed a dude because I thought I was gay. Technically. Got in a hot tub naked with 3 gay guys and we talked about relationships. But really. Remove the gay element and it was just 4 dudes talking about life. No biggie. You should tell your dad about this. The big laugh line. 4 dudes chillin' in a hot tub 1 feet apart cause they are gay. I was at a gay bar with some gay friends and this young guy wearing a friggin' suit walked up and asked me for a dance. I told him I wasn't gay and he said I just came out and I want my first dance to be with someone beautiful. I did a slow dance with the dude and went on my way. Dude deserved it for that A+ line. My straight friends once told me, straight, that they would have banged me if I was a girl. Hugs. Cuddling. Pulling friends to me. By their belt loops. Bit co-worker of mine has asked me if I'm into him. Nah. Just not shy about affection. This same human. I have kissed his forehead and told him that I love him. Exact words were love ya. Buddy. Close bracket. Penis doesn't interest me. But it hurts to not be affectionate. Worked at a gay bar for years. People were friendly. Tips were really good. And honestly the guys kept setting me up with their female friends. 10/10 would do again. I had my best friend suck my dick when I was drunk once. Knew I was straight about 2 seconds in. Made out with guys due to spin the bottle. Balanced out by also making out with girls in the same games. One of the dudes was a much better kisser than the other participants. Well, thank you. I practice on the mannequins at Target. Ejaculated in a guy's ass. Oops. Went with 3 gay friends to a dive gay bar, with gay PRN videos playing on screens. A nude live dancer. That kind of bar. Had a f-king blast. Got drunk. Got hit on. Flatted. Comma. Danced as if I wasn't straight. Fun as tea. But my gay friends who I went with were horrified about how skeevy the place was. They told me you can never tell anyone we came here. Never. Dot. Like. I was the straight one. But I was cool with it. What's up with that? Great time. Though. Edit. One thing I love about this post is that a lot of people are replying, is that you? George? Vito? Is that you? So I guess this happens a lot. Colon. Pretended to be my friend's boyfriend to prevent him from being hit on from this guy he didn't want to hit on him. We put our arms around each other and I kissed him on the temple. Lol. Gay or straight? No means no. And I'll do this 1,000 times more if I have to. Me and the boys once took turns taking a 10-minute ice bath at a hotel. Then measuring who had the smallest peen by the end of their ice bath. Naked 4 AM drunk bench press session in the back garden of a mate's house. With 2 other mates. We were drunk. There was a bench. Inevitably. Benching happens. I can't remember who thought first this would be funnier if I was naked. Probably me. I've always wanted to be pegged by a woman while f-king another woman. Well. That fantasy hasn't played out to this day. But what did happen once is that I had a, otherwise hetero style, threesome with my wife and guy. He was young. Fit. Soft featured. And B. My wife was sitting on his face and. In the heat of the moment. I got a whim of inspiration. I sat on his cock. Then I grabbed my wife's hips. Pulled her back. And started f-king her doggy style. His dick went in and out of my ass as I humped my wife. It was mind-blowing pleasure. Even better than what I had fantasized. I only lasted a few minutes and had one of the most intense orgasms I have ever experienced in my life. I'm still not into men, straight. But if the circumstances chemistry were right, I'd do it again. Made out with a close friend when he came out to me as gay. He wasn't really sure how I would respond when he told me he thought I was attractive. I didn't know how I was gonna respond either. He decided to just go for it and kiss me. Honestly, best makeout session I had. Every girl I made out lacked the passion he did. Never made out with him again. Do it again. Report back. Joined the Marine Corps. If I drew up a line chart of my life with X equals age and Y equals number of viral dicks seen, there is an exponential spike well into the hundreds on my first day of boot camp. When I was a teenager, me and my 5 friends were alone in the dorms while everyone else went on break. My 4 friends decided that it would be fun to have a masturbation contest to see who can come the fastest. I said hell no. And became the officiator. They all went to separate corners of the room and readied the PRN and their phones. When I shout go, they start jerking off simultaneously and the losers have to pay the winner's dinner. Interesting conundrum. Is it gayer to jerk off with 4 dudes or to watch 4 dudes jerk off? Had a crush on a guy back in high school or so I thought. Turned out the guy was a girl hiding in a hoodie with a buzz cut. I was seriously questioning my sexuality until I found out. Edited. Wow, this seems to have really resonated with a lot of people. So here is how the story ends. We started dating, it was an incredible time. Went on a cruise with my best bro I hadn't seen in a year after I moved a few states away. The boat docks in Cozumel. And we both walk off the boat shirtless. No plan. But I eventually suggest renting mopeds. We get to the rental place. And he asks, can I just ride on the back of yours? Me. Okay. That's how we spent our afternoon. 2 shirtless guys cruising around on a moped and he's got his arms around my waist. What's great is that someone from the cruise had taken our picture on the moped, and when he got married, his brother's best man speech was actually a PowerPoint presentation that incorporated that picture. His brother said something like, some of you may not know this, but X hasn't always dated women. I was at a dorm party and we were all drunk. One of our friends is the annoying loud drunk and happens to be gay. He was complaining how it's been ages since he kissed a dude. Bro. I just wanted a chill mood so I could eat my pizza rolls and he was killing the vibe. So I grabbed his head, made out with him hardcore for a bit. And threw him on the ground. He just laughed and said wow every now and again. Fit the vibe I was going for way better. So no regrets. I giggled like a schoolgirl when a gay guy complimented me in New York in 2014. It wasn't the fact that I was flattered by the compliment. I was very flattered. But the fact that I uttered the most effeminate laugh I've ever had, or heard, from said compliment. I was in New York very often that summer after breaking up with a terrible, emotionally abusive girlfriend. And I got hit on by several gay dudes there. A big thanks to the LGBTQ community for helping me feel good about myself again that year. Edit. I didn't expect this to be received so well. Thanks so much. Edit 2. And yes. Aside from hating and fearing a bunch of the obvious things going on in our world, I'm a very happy and happily married person now. I once watched 300. Seriously though. I once held hands with a gay male friend at a party because he was ridiculously handsome and he wanted to discourage a stalker girl who wouldn't take no for an answer. That's homozool, not homozool. Well, I've kissed a couple of dudes. I do this thing at parties where I'll go out to the smokers and yell I'll kiss anyone who gives me a cigarette. I worked security at a gay bar, and while selling jello shots at the door during a holiday party, I let a big bear man kiss me on the cheek because he asked nicely. After I gave him a free jello shot for buying like 10 of them. Edit. Since this blew up. It was 2009. Well before the pandemic. I spent this past New Year's Eve sitting on the couch with my wife, drinking cheap champagne and falling asleep before enjoying any of the snacks we had prepared, like the parents we are. Kissed a dude. Edit. Edit. Double penetration. Using the same orifice as the other guy at the same time. This isn't my story, but I saved it from a similar thread ages ago because it made me laugh. Thanks again, you based intellect. When I was 8 years old, my dad bought me the original PlayStation. I was so excited that I rode my bike to my friend's house and ran up the stairs to his room to tell him to come play it with me. As soon as I told him, he grabbed my face and gave me a big smooch on the lips. Homie was totally heterozool but could not contain his love and excitement for new video games. Probably the weirdest moment of my life. He played Crash Bandicoot and never spoke of it again. I Frenched a guy in a very drunken game of truth or dare. I have to say the big difference was the feel of stubble and the more aggressive tongue action. I was in the army. In combat arms. I think it's safe to say that the military is full of the gayest straight people you'll ever meet. I had 2 fellow soldiers jump into the same shower stall, naked as the day they were born, and wash each other's backs just to FCK with our commander when he walked in. Sent a gay dude a few shirtless flex pics of myself I already had on my MySpace at the time, and left him a 30 seconds long VM basically berating him. His thing I guess is straight dudes demeaning him. Easiest $80 I ever made. One other guy wanted to pay me $300 to drive to Ann Arbor so he could smell my feet. I passed on that though, lol. Sucked a dick. Gave oral to another man. Wasn't sure if I was completely straight or not. Only way to find out is to find out. No messane? The obligatory not me, but I was in the military. And on my first deployment there was a guy who was choking the chicken in front of a whole squad bay of men, and on a bet from a senior co sprayed his clue goo all over his belly. So then another guy was also bet from this senior co to eat said clue goo on the promise of no more watch for the rest of deployment. Needless to say he didn't have watch for the rest of the deployment. We pay for this? If you saw me and my best friend, you'd probably just think we were gay. Hell, our wives do. Lol. I've kissed him on the lips. We're constantly running into each other's arms from long distances into a warm embrace. We say love you to each other. We're constantly excusing ourselves from crowds at parties to go wrestle in the front lawn as well. I pretty much am gay for that, man. After reading all of these comments, I'm thinking that maybe we're all kind of just gay. I tried jacking off to gay hentai to see if I was gay. Finally, a jerk off thread for the gays. I let an old man look into and then finger my butthole just so I could join the military. I felt so used. For the next 8 years. Open desert field. 2 AM. 28 degrees Fahrenheit. Wrapped under a warm layer. 3 guys nuts to butts. Wrapped arms all over. Do you have a F-king boner right now? Bro. Yeah. My bad. Just don't F-king move. Please. Edit. Temps went from high 70s when we started and fluctuated to high 20s and low 30s throughout the nights. Add the non-stop exertion throughout the days and portions of nights. We were very salty sacks cuddling for heat. And I cannot stress how the level of intimacy I've experienced throughout my time was only topped by my wife. This never leaves the cave. I sucked a dick to get a ride to a concert. Just kidding. Full stop. Full stop. Full stop. I didn't need a ride. I, straight, was out for a gay friend's birthday party and unbeknownst to me he put my name in for the Ossibustas competition that was going on in about an hour. Hear my name called and since I'm a few drinks deep I said FCK it. Ended up on stage in just my boxer briefs in front of a crowd of gay men yelling at me with a guy in drag officiating. Got second place and won $100 bucks. Buddy and I held hands. Linked fingers style. And skipped down the road. Had sex with a dude. Shrug. Definitely straight. Went to a Disney themed birthday party with 2 gay friends as a trio of genderbant villains. Was fun. It's not my doing but there was this one time when I was in college. I got quite drunk after a party. My roommate, whom I think is a bizzle, sucked my dick for like 4-5 seconds. Well, he was not drunk and he stopped because I didn't approve of that. We both implicitly agreed that was an accident. Without any awkwardness. We never speak of that again and are still good friends. Of course I didn't know he was a bizzle before the incident. Yeah, sorry for accidentally sucking your cock last night, bro. The only thing I learned from this post is the army is gay. I grew up in a small, very religious town in the deep south. We had a small mall and on Sundays it was common for little old ladies to meet up there for lunch after church. In high school, me and a buddy occasionally went to the mall on Sundays and faked breaking up near groups of these little old ladies. We'd make it as ridiculous as possible while still being believable. My friend was able to cry on command so the real tears added a little believability. To add icing on the cringe cake. He was black and I'm white so it made it just a little more awkward for all the old-fashioned people my town is so well known for. Maybe they met up at the mall to watch your performance each week. Without a doubt the time in college when I met a guy in a chat room a few towns over and then drove over so he could give me a blowjob. A guy I know from college got his dick sucked at a papaya dog after he and a gay friend went to grab food after a party. When asked how it was, he said, "Well, I now know I'm definitely not into dudes." Sucked a cock. Does that count? I dunno, let's try. I was at a bar with my FWB, now wife, outside smoking a cigarette when a guy comes up and starts flirting with me. I let him know that I'm flattered but straight. Then he says something like how that's too bad because I've got the most kissable looking lips. So I humor him and say well one kiss won't hurt. And lean in and we share a quick kiss. He goes mmmmm. That was nice. Can I have some more? Guess I was feeling spunky because I then proceeded to make out with him for a good minute while he squeezed my butt. He said thank you and we parted ways. I've owned too many miatas to confidently claim being straight. Having to bathe my best friend. He sprained his ankle and couldn't even stand with the cast the first day he had it. I accompanied him to the hospital and got him up the stairs at his house. So there we were and he says like, hey, I have to take a shower but I don't know if I'm going to be able with the cast, so I replied, well, I'm here so I can help you in that matter, and that's the story how I fully bathed my best friend. Went to a friend's house for his boyfriends, they're gay, B-day. And one of the party games was to peel a banana and shape it into a penis using just my mouth. PS. I hate bananas and this event solidified my stance on that damned fruit.